Welcome back to this week's episode. What the hell's wrong? Welcome back to this week's episode of Slowpoke News. After the last week, we're going to update you with what's been going on in the world. So here we go. Our first story tonight is that Donald Trump has just announced that he is going to be our next presidential nominee for the Republican Party.
There's lots of question about how well he'll do, how far he'll go. Obviously, we've never seen a millionaire take on a task like this. And it's just another question of whether or not the American public will take him seriously to begin with.
It's very true. It's very true. We'll see how his race goes, along with his colleagues and the Democratic ones as well. On to our next story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Colin Kaepernick and what he's done?
Honestly, there's been a huge uproar. I don't know how I feel about this. I've been thinking about it, I've been praying about it with my wife at night, but he's been taking a knee during the national anthem, and it's kind of insulting, honestly. It's kind of insulting. I don't know how to feel about it.
Neither does the American public. But the American public has been very mixed on this issue, obviously, as you can clearly tell by my colleague here.
I'm stressed.
He's stressed.
I'm stressed.
He's stressed. He's very stressed. On to our next story. There was a housing crash, unfortunately. It was a big recession that we're expecting. Unfortunately, there might be some money problems with your family, and certainly my family and everybody in the country. Unfortunately, that came from bad loans or something like that.
It was a huge surprise. Some people say that it could have been found, but
it came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere for the public, and I think that's really unfair to them.
It's very unfair, unfortunately.
Very unchristian.
Moving on. Let's go to our next story. Obama has become our president. This is the first African-American president that the United States has ever seen. I think that is a wonderful thing.
It definitely sets a precedent.
It does.
And it's only up from here on out, honestly.
Yeah. It's something we've never seen before to this date.
Maybe, now Hillary can finally get her chance.
Hopefully.
As well.
Hopefully we'll see Hillary become a president one day. Maybe. Maybe we'll see it. Now let's go to our field reporter.
Watch out for ticks.
On to our next story. Let's continue with our theme of entertainment. Right?
Yeah.
Our theme of entertainment.
Do we have any water?
You okay? No, there's no water. Okay. You get that at the end.
All right.
Okay. On to our next story of entertainment. Game Boy Color. That is the new console that Nintendo is going to put out. It's a handheld console. Called Game Boy.
It's looking to blow the last console just out of the water. The last handheld, people weren't exactly keen on.
People like the Game Boy,
green
right?
and black thing that they had going, but
it'll have color this time, so that's innovative. That's something we've never seen before. To this date, Nintendo is putting out a lot of good things, and they're upping their game.
They're upping it.
Pun intended. On to our next story in the world of politics. Let's talk about the wall. The wall on the border between East and West Berlin.
It's been, a huge burden on the people of Germany.
It has.
People having to sneak over. I heard of someone taking a whole hot air balloon that they made entirely out of their bed sheets over to the better side. I honestly can't remember which one's better.
That's impressive.
But I can't remember which side was better. But they made it. They ended up making it. They had to try a bunch of times. But they finally made it, and I think it goes to show what persistence can really do.
And what political climates can happen and what can happen in political climates such as that. On to our next story. Let's talk about Tesla. Tesla's been in the news a lot recently, right? Tesla's been making some waves with his products.
It's very good. It's important to furthering the ideas of technology and science even. Very important because...
But currently Tesla's been in a battle. He's been in a battle with Edison, right? You know more about the story, don't you?
There's been a huge thing about the coils or the open coils or something. I'm not a scientist. Let's just get that right, folks. I mean, this is brand new technology that we're talking about. This is the cutting edge.
This is brand new, innovative stuff.
But there is, an argument as to like who has the safer of the use for this kind of electricity that they're talking about. Is one more dangerous? And Tesla is going out to prove that his is the safer method. Do you have more on like how he's going about this?
I guess time will tell. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time to spend on this story, but we will update you next week on how this goes and who wins this battle between Tesla and Edison.
Sounds good. We're extending our show for an emergency broadcast because this just came in. Someone just brought it onto our desk.
This is some very tragic news. This is very heavy. Families, viewers' discretion is advised. Currently, you might want to put your children to bed before this news comes out. But one of our lovely leaders has just been assassinated, as we've just come to find out a couple minutes ago. Julius Caesar has lost his life. The Senate has staged a coup, and they have taken his life in order to gain control of the government.
Whether or not you saw him as a great leader or a horrible one, this is truly, truly tragic. And I think we're all going to miss him, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, I mean he's done some great things for that country, for Greece. I think so, and the people of Greece will be definitely affected by what's happened today.
Definitely.
But thank you for joining us for this installment of Slowpoke News. We hope to see you next week for our next installment.
We'll see you then.
You can go home.
Okay. When do I get paid?
You don't.
Oh, okay.
Go.
All right. Okay.